I'm live. So I guess I'm live. You know, I make a lot of these videos just myself. Maybe one day someone will pop into my channel and look at all kinds of stuff or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Um, I do throw out some information though. Um, First thing I want to talk about is eugenics. Okay, eugenics is basically a bunch of rich people wanting to kill off a bunch of poor people to keep the population under a certain amount so they can keep control of the population. That's the basics behind eugenics. Okay. It's also they say it's like, oh, let's get rid of the bad DNA and all. No, no, it's just getting rid of your undesirables, like me. Okay, or like anybody that's poor. Actually, you know, in the last 4 years, I've lost my ride to the VA hospital. I've lost a lot of my benefits at the VA. Okay, I'm under a damn nonprofit organizations that are a bunch of bullies. They think their shit don't stink and that they can't get caught embezzling money at the top. And I'm saying that they're embezzling fucking money. There's they're laundering money through this place like fucking hand over fist. You can't deny it. You look at their taxes in the last since 2015. You look at their taxes. Boom. I mean, they say, oh yeah, they built a lot of buildings, but they don't take care of them. They don't take care of them. They don't. They do the minimum work amount of work just to slip in under the law, and sometimes even fudge on that crap. Okay, so you got bad health care, you got bad low income housing. Okay, you got a homeless industrial complex that leaves 80% of the people on the fucking street and give you a sandwich and have donations coming in to feed you. Which I don't. That's a good thing, but they get millions and millions and billions and billions at the top. Same with the healthcare, or same with the VA hospital. Same with this nonprofit that runs this. It's eugenics. You know, it's culling the population. Sorry, I got to give my cat some treats. Yeah, she wants her 5 seconds of fame over here. My big pretty kitty. My big pretty kitty. Yeah, I could say a bunch of misogynistic stuff about having a pussy in my house, but I'll leave that up to your imagination. I don't consider it misogynistic. It's a fucking joke. It's a freaking joke. You know, let me give her fame here. There she is. That's my girl. She works for treats. She works for treats, guys. She works for treats. Uh, anyway, look up eugenics. Eugenics is what caused the Holocaust in Germany. Okay? All right, that was eugenics. Eugenics is what caused the uh what was that, in the 40s or 30s or 40s, they set up a whole town and gave all the black people syphilis, and then turned around and that community put out one of the best squadrons in World War II. Okay, yeah, they put out one of the best squadrons in World War II. They had a lot of kills in that squadron. They were up there with the black sheep. So when I sit here and watch these videos all day, I got nothing better to do, man. I'm missing a fucking leg. It's kind of like dangerous for me to even go out in the street, sometimes even in the daytime. Okay, because you got all these fucking loonies out there. Because they letting the loonies control the streets, man. I, I was homeless for 11 and a half years. If we had this shit happening in the streets when I was out there, We had guys that would beat the shit out of you, throw you in a fucking dumpster, and do that until you left the area. And the cops did not do a thing about it because we didn't kill anybody, and we got rid of the pedophiles, we got rid of the rapists, we got rid of the freaking bullies and the thieves and the crazy addicts. We left the mentally ill alone because the mentally ill are harmless. These are addicts out there, and they're letting them out. That's eugenics, man. That's all part of eugenics, man. It's all. When I was homeless, okay, and I keep saying this every time I make a video, I tell everybody I don't give a fuck, because God put me through this when I was homeless, and I'm showing you what I did when I was homeless. What do you call anachronism? I have to look that word up. I wasn't the normal homeless guy. Okay, I went to college, I had a job, and I wrote for a local newspaper. Homeless people, you don't see how many homeless people you see doing that. The ones that come up off the street, you don't even know they've ever been on the street until they tell you they were on the street. All right, that's the thing. You don't know some of these people are homeless. You could have a guy working in a restaurant. He could be working in a restaurant, being a busboy or a dishwasher. He go out there and pitch his tent out on the beach. I know I did when I was in college. I pitched my tent down there, and I went to fucking school, and I left my tent down there because the homeless, we watched each other's shit out there. The good homeless, we watched each other's shit. I had a small camp down there. Why do you think there's an increase in homelessness? You know how many people die on the streets every year? I guarantee it's more than they're telling you. You know, guarantee it's more than they're telling you. It's all part of the eugenics program. They want to cull this population down to 500 million so they can control the population. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Man, you're looking at it, it's right above you all the time, man. When you become homeless, you realize it is not raining, someone's pissing on you. That's when you start to realize it's not rain, buddy, someone's pissing on you. And it ain't God. It's a system. It's designed this way. Yeah, you can fix the system. You know what? All this stuff we have Social Security, which is basically you're paying for your own retirement. Okay, that's exactly what Social Security was meant to be. It was a self-paid retirement fund. Okay, because at one time the corporations, over 1,000 people, had to pay your retirement. They had to pay your health insurance. They had to pay both of those fully, man. Over 1,000 people, and if it was a really good company, and you could show that you were progressing as a company, you had to actually maintain that. That's why the CEOs in the 60s and 70s only made 17% above the blue collar worker. Even management wasn't making as much. They might get 20, 30 bucks more on their paycheck. You might get 1.2% higher than now. These guys are making 1,000% on up higher than the average worker. That's where all your retirement money is going. That's where all the health care is going. They're paying themselves at the top. It's called crony capitalism. If you haven't figured it out by now, man, and I'm talking about social programs like welfare, unemployment. Those are safety nets. If you have a bustling economy and you got more jobs than you got people, you don't need those, but it's good to have them in case someone loses a job. You got unemployment, you lose your job. If 99% of the freaking population's working, Unemployment is there as a safety net. Welfare is the same thing. You fall off the unemployment, you hit welfare. Both of them at one time, both of them, you had to have a steady uh, uh, application. You have to have steady applications flowing, and you have to prove to these people you were trying to look for work. Okay, and not everybody. And if you couldn't work, you went on SSI. You went on your disability. You went on your retirement fund. Okay, what they did since they started all these programs until now, they broke the program. They shipped all the jobs out of the United States and they started filling up the program. They started doing the government funding because they shipped the jobs out of America. I'm talking about from my time until now, from when I was a kid in the 60s until now. If you in the 60s, if you put in an application, if you put in 5 applications, you got 5 callbacks and you could choose the job you wanted because there were too many jobs, man. People were hiring left and right. We had a whole manufacturing industry. We made cars, we made planes, we made boats, we made air conditioners, we made televisions, we made radios. We had a bustling manufacturing community here at one time. And crony capitalism took all that shit away. Trump's a capitalist, man. But I mean, it's like um, George Carlin has said, it's a big club and you're not in it. Well, yeah, he's in the billionaire club, but he didn't play in the circus, man. He didn't go to the circus, man. There's a big circus up at the top there that they play in. He didn't go to these circus parties, man. He might have showed up. You might say, well, what's this over here? Studio 54. What's this, man? From what I understand, the man don't even drink. I'm not sure. I'm just going by what I've read, but I'm sure that man is full on straight up sober, man, sober minded. Maybe he was a little bit of a playboy when he was younger. Every male in their 20s was a fucking playboy. If you weren't, you wanted to be. I mean, this is all part of the eugenics. Make you poor, make you sick, and cull the population. Okay? Don't give you the health care you need when you're sick. What happens? Eventually, you're going to die. They don't care, man. They just care about the big bucks and the little kids. Not the way that you think either. I mean, all this stuff people talk about, like crime. But why do you think they're letting the criminals run the street? Because they don't give a shit if you get shot or not. They don't care. They want you to kill each other out there. But you got a black versus a white. You got religion versus religion. You got sexual orientation versus sexual orientation. You got men versus women. Huh. You know, I mean, you go back to the 30s when immigration was huge, the turn of the last century. Immigration was huge in the United States. It went on, and black people were already at the bottom of the totem pole. Literally, man, Jim Crow kept the black man down for a long time. Okay, but what happened? All of a sudden, you had other ethnic groups to pick on: Jews, Germans, Italians, Irish. Where do you think all these ghettos came from, man? They weren't all black. You had Jewish ghettos, you had Irish ghettos, you had German ghettos, you had Italian ghettos. Look up the history of New York. All this crap about racism, man. The only racism is people are talking about racism. Those are the only racists. People that constantly talk about it. And The reason I said that is because right here in Hollywood, we just had an actor get shot. That's a wake up call for these fools. I mean, I know some actors, man. I don't know them personally, but I've met a lot of them. And like, I met like two out of all of them I've met maybe five that are cool. Most of them, when you say hi to them, they look at you. Do you want an autograph? That's all they do, and then they walk by. If they just say hi and walk by. I mean, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn are cool. Rick Ocasek from the Cars was cool. Who's that? Who's that quarterback? A quarterback I met. My buddy was having a freaking an orgasmic meltdown over this guy in public. Okay, I'm like, dude, man, he's a fucking man, man. Just he plays football and he's a good football player, man. He don't want all this publicity, man. He's already getting enough when he's on the field. You know, I mean, you guys are getting a wake up call, man. All the Arnold Schwarzeneggers out there. You know, I met Ray Manzarek from the Doors. That man was the coolest motherfucker I ever. The coolest one. Well, outside of Kurt Russell, this guy was like down to earth, man. As soon as I was working at the Gap, and I was working Christmas filler, up in the stock room, working Christmas filler work. So I'm up there, and you know, it's funny. As soon as the actors walked in, because they all knew me over there. This is like '94. I mean, 2004. I've already been writing for the newspaper, so a lot of people knew me. As soon as an actor would come in, they come and get me because I'm not starstruck, man. I mean, Ray Manzarek said, "Hey, man, thanks for helping me. This girl is getting under my skin." I mean, who was that? Goldie Hawn's kid, that blonde that played in Almost Famous. She was the same way, man. She was like, "Phew, thank you, thank you." I go, "I met your mom and dad." She goes, "Oh, really?" I go, "Yeah, over at Starbucks. We were talking and stuff." And I go, "What are you looking for? Something for you?" And I just showed her around. I just mentioned that about her mom and dad. And then say, "Okay, I'm going to show you around. What do you need? I'll help you whatever you need." And she actually thanked me. I mean, some of you guys that live here in Santa Monica, all you guys on the other side of San Vicente, you're getting a fucking rude awakening more than you got in the '90s when they let the kids run out on the promenade. You're getting a rude awakening now. You're seeing just how much these motherfuckers that are above you do not care about you. Okay? Yeah, they throw you a bone and you got all this popularity and stuff. But the people that are running the show, they don't care. And if you're in that club, man, you need to be in jail. You know. Now, if you're in the Red Shoe Club, you need to be in jail. You need to be under the jail. You need to be down in hell. You know. Yeah, like my dad used to say, people in hell want ice water, man. You're gonna need some ice water, man. But if you're just a regular Joe that's an actor and you got your little part here and there, and you got this big old fucking ego, like you think people don't matter below you because you're an actor, you're getting a rude awakening out there, man. you know, seriously, man. There she goes, climbing her little toy back there. See her back there? That's her. That's her hammock. Okay, that's her little house right here. I built a little house out of cardboard boxes, and it goes back to another. She's got another little post back there. I got all this stuff over here for her to climb on. Underneath, underneath this, in this little cubby hole right there. In that little cubby hole right here. There's a cubby hole right there. There's a little bridge. I'm gonna put it. I want to put it over my door. I want to put it up over my door right here. Put it right up over the door. It's a 5-foot bridge. I just put it up over the door so she can jump on the shelf up there, and she can sit above the door. But obviously, I can't do it because I only got one fucking leg. If I was on two legs, I'd be up there doing the fucking. You'd be doing a video of me standing on a bunch of shit doing some fucking drilling like the fucking crazy people you see on here doing it. You know, MacGyver people. Anyway, going back to my point, eugenics, man. This is all part of the eugenics plan, man. You either kill each other off, you die of a freaking disease, or you starve to death. Like I said, when I went into that thing about me doing all that shit on the street, I had people from the fucking Rand Corporation coming out and talking to me. Just I could tell when I'm being probed, mentally probed. You know, I felt like I was in a freaking lab dish. These fucking brainiacs, they're like fucking Spock. Some people, I mean, you tell them a joke and it like they're processing the joke, instead of just laughing, they're processing the joke. So, I mean, I had one girl, she was Indian, man. I remember she was cute too. And I was sitting out there and I'm just finished drawing, man. I'm working on a piece. I mean, it was something for school that I had to do. It was a drawing I had to do. So I'm doing this drawing, and this lady comes up. She goes, mind if I buy you a cup of coffee?" And I always get that people buy me a cup of coffee because they got all my gear sitting with me, all my homeless gear, you know. And I'm doing a drawing on an easel in a coffee shop, so they always buy me a cup of coffee. So I give me a cup of coffee and I go, "Yeah, what's up?" And I thought she was hitting on me and shit. I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm here." This is back when I was a little bit before I became celibate. Um, and she started asking these questions. She was, you know, she would lead the questions in, because I'm always interested in talking to smart people, man. I mean, that's water seeks its own level, you know. And so she started asking me how I do it, how I do it. I go, "How do I do what? How do you maintain a job? How do you go to school? How do you write for a local newspaper and be homeless?" Well, how do you go to work? I just put it to her. How do you go to work? You went to school. How did you go to school? And I threw all that at her, and she looked at me like, "Huh?" I go, "But you're homeless." Yeah. The only thing that I tell her, the only thing I really can't do is take real deep academic classes because I was taking Japanese at the time. I can't take the deep academic. Like if I need a computer or something, I couldn't take a class. You know, because I would burn the midnight oil. I'm the guy that stays up until 2, 3 in the morning doing a drawing. So studying would be no problem for me. And you guys don't get it. You normies do not get it, man. You don't. You don't. The things that you call conspiracy theories are being implemented on you as we speak. It's still a conspiracy theory to you. uh, uh. Yeah, I like to make memes, man, and I'm using my picture here for my memes, man. I don't give a fuck. You guys don't. You guys want to know? I don't give a fuck. You know what I look like. You know, if you're gonna beat me up, you're gonna beat me up. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I don't. I don't. I'm pretty dangerous because I don't care. So think about that one. Um. Anyway, I mean, all the conspiracy theories you can even think of that are out there. MK Ultra, Operation Mockingbird. Uh, um, um, you saw the implementation of Operation Northwood from 1963 on the Twin Towers. See, you don't want because that's a conspiracy theory, even though it's exactly how the operation was supposed to play out. You know, You see all this stuff and it's in your face. That's what they mean by the matrix. Doesn't mean that it's physically not there. It means that it's not there. They blinded you to it. They sugarcoat it. Well, you sugarcoat a turd and it still tastes like a turd, man. You know, can't turn a turd into a donut with sugar coating. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I'll probably make a meme out of what I just said about that too. As a matter of fact, I might do it right in front of you just to have some fun. You know, and probably people that feel sorry for my cat because they don't think I don't pay attention to her. That cat gets more attention than it gets more attention than I do with myself, man. I give that cat attention all the time. I might spend 20, 30 minutes or an hour watching something, but I'm always like I have this camera on because I keep the door open. So I have this camera on in the background so I can see what's behind me. And I always see her. I always see her. You know, I mean, the funny thing is that, eugenics is a broad spectrum. I mean, people think eugenics is just like doctors, giving you a cocktail or some shit like that. Um, but it's actually not. It's actually not. It's an ideology, man. I mean, what they're going to tell you is they're going to use survival of the fittest. They're going to use Darwinism to explain it. And I hate to say it, I don't come from a freaking monkey, man. If you look at when they talk about Darwinism, they talk about us being close to a freaking monkey. Oh, that's not it. Damn, that's the wrong one. I'm just trying to make a decision on whether I should use this one or the one I'm using for my what do you call it? My the faces on the video, besides this face. Uh, yeah, I'll use the other one. I'll use the other one. Anyway, like I said, I mean, you got all this stuff going on in the world, and you got, about Darwinism. That's what I was going to talk about. Um, you got Darwinism, which says that we have uh, we have 98% of a chimp's DNA. But what they don't tell you is that they're counting junk DNA in it. Back in the day, they had what they called junk DNA. It's DNA they said doesn't do anything. Okay, it's just there existing. So what they did was they took all the junk DNA out of both us and the chimp, and they compared them. Of course, it's going to be like 98% because I mean our whole body structure is different than a chimp. The whole body structure is mapped out in your DNA. Then when people started getting smarter about DNA, they say, well, we can't use this one no more. So they had to come up with some other hokey theory. So, I don't understand how I don't understand how I can't understand how people cannot look at that. I mean, I don't believe everything I hear on freaking TV. Even when I was a kid, I didn't believe everything I heard when I was on TV. My dad used to tell me, believe half of what you hear and all of what you see. Oh, that's not the saying. No, my dad changed the saying because that's the way I live my life. I believe all of what I see and half of what I hear. If I hear something about someone and then someone comes up and we start talking and I see that it's different from what I heard, that's what they're talking about. Believe reality, man. Believe the facts. Let's see, how can I put this? Uh, okay, let's do the spell check on all this crap. And we'll do some sizing up on Fuck, man. Sorry, I'm silent when I'm doing this, man. Takes a little bit of concentration. Some of the fonts ain't the best, but let's save it out. 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 That's rasterize the type. Come on now. Now we do the flatten image. Save as. Conspiracy theory JPEG. Boom. Finito. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed my foray into doing shit on the fucking internet and making a meme. Peace out. Semper Fi. Love you guys. And stream end.